Hello everybody, so today we are doing a bit of dung spreading. So we're spreading out of a field heap onto where the fodder beet was. We harvested it 2 videos ago maybe, or finished harvesting it, and we immediately started spreading and building this stack heap. So we were cleaning out the sheds in the yard. Some was being stacked, some was being shredded straight away. So we're now come to spread the stack and finish the field. You can see we've just got a little bit of field to go, and the headland. And this will then be ploughed and put back to grass, the grass clover mix, ready for the cows for grazing. So same as always, we're using our Marshall rear discharge spreader. And what makes the Marshall different to most others is the fact it doesn't have a bed chain in there. It uses a giant hydraulic ram to push a door back towards the beaters. The advantage of that is it's a little bit cheaper to buy it. You know, the initial purchase price are a little bit cheaper, and also you don't get any bed chains that you have to tension daily and potentially break in years to come, you know, depending on how often you use it. The disadvantage of the ram, you just saw, I couldn't start spreading straight away, depending on the material in the body, and because it's pushing from the front, there is an element of compression. You have to squeeze it tight enough to get the back to start moving. So that's the disadvantage of it. And what I tend to do is between the stack and where you're starting to spread, you can start to squeeze it a little bit, but obviously you don't want to go too far and put pressure on the door. Another slight disadvantage of this type is the ram. Obviously a telescopic ram has got different size for every stage, so it spreads faster towards the end, or the ram moves faster towards the end than it does at the start, because obviously the stages are shrinking. There is a valve on there to equalise that speed, so you can just put your spool valve into power and the ram, and then the valve takes care of the different sizes of the ram. We don't actually use that. It's much faster to just leave it so we don't use that valve. What we do is we start off very slow, forward speed, and then as the ram travels faster, I drive faster, so we go up through the gears, and that then gets us quite a rapid emptying of the spreader, and with a bit of practice you can get a nice even spread by varying the forward speed to match the door moving backwards. Also, something else you need to remember, you need to pull the door back to the front before you fill it up again, otherwise it's half a day with a prong to clean it out. What you can do with a chain spreader against this one, if for example you had something in the spreader, a concrete block or something, you can use the chains to back or move the load back forwards to back it away from the spreader to potentially dig it out. This situation you can't, it's there. I mean, for us that doesn't matter, we're just spreading our own dung. And for a contractor that could be spreading anything that people just put in a heap, that would be an issue. And I would probably say this is not really a contractor's machine. It might not be built heavy enough for the work contractors would put through it. But for what we do, it's ideal. So as ever, hopefully you can see there, got the Kubota unloading. Dad's back almost to full power now, so thank you very much to everybody that's been asking. Well, wishing him well on his recovery. He's pretty much back to normal now, so he's loading away. And also today we are spreading fertilizer, so brother is on the fertilizer spreader going around all our grazing land here on the main home farm to get everything covered. So it's all go here today. We will be covering fertilizer in a bit more detail hopefully next week when we are doing some silage ground that is away. So we need to haul the fertilizer to the ground and spread it while we're there. Hopefully that's next week's video. I'm saying it now, we haven't even done it yet, so hopefully it'll happen. We will see. It'll certainly happen. Whether it gets made into a video is another thing. And whether it comes out next week is another thing as well. the main part of the field done now. We're just going around the headland, just finishing off. So we have got more done than we need in this field, but this field is actually right next door to where the fodder beet is going to be for this year. There is another heap out in that field, and it's probably not enough, so between the two heaps we will be able to cover both fields. The fodder beet field for this year is currently grass and has been sprayed 2 days ago. Yeah, two days ago it was sprayed off, ready for dunging and ploughing. As of yet, it's not dying off yet, but it's on the way. So we are just getting busy in our big spring campaign for land work. We've got less to do than we did last year. We reseeded 2 fields last year. This year we just putting the fodder beet in the field over there and grass into this one. So not quite as much work as we got through last year, but it's still all going to get done. So I had a few comments on the beet harvesting video as to how was the yield going. How did it yield? In the end, it was actually quite good. Whether it was above average or not, I couldn't say it was above average, but it was at least equal to what we would expect. And if you followed the whole of last year, you'll know it was a different variety we were trialling. And in the autumn, when we first started the harvest, I said we weren't sure at that point if we were going to use the same variety again or change to a different one. We have actually gone for a different variety this year to what we had last year, and because of the fact the beet were a bit small, although overall yield was probably equal. So we've gone this year for a variety we've used before back in, I think last time we planted it was 2016. But anyway, we'll cover all that, you know, nearer the time. Right, so there we go, another load emptied off to refill. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.